Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, Teri Hunter. It's Monday, July 27th, 2020, and I'm here with this week's interactive messages from your angels. I'm going to do 3 different spreads. I'll be putting the timestamps in the comments, and you're going to allow your intuition to guide you as to which spread is most applicable to you for this week. So I'm just going to jump right in with spread number 1. While I shuffle, I'm going to remind you that I use 2 different decks. The first deck is based on angels and is going to represent a different angelic energy. And then the second deck is based on the Legend of Camelot. There are 3 different types of cards. The first is some animal totems, then we'll see characters like Guinevere and Arthur, and then we'll see markers on the road of life. I'm doing a 4-card spread. And the first position is the foundational position, what you're sitting on, what we're starting on. The second is the opportunity and or the obstacle. The third is the angel's advice for taking advantage of the opportunity or getting around the obstacle. And the final is the angel's advice or how it's going to play out, the week's going to play out, what the potentials are for that. So again, I'm starting with spread number 1. And our first angel is Caressa. The second is Rochelle. The third is Archangel Uriel. And the final is Vanessa. Right. All right, joining Caressa is the Water Fairy. Joining Rochelle is the Swan. Joining Archangel Uriel is the Queen. And joining Vanessa is the Partnership card. All right, for those of you that chose angel reading number 1, in the foundational position, we have the angel Caressa. And Caressa talks about being at the end of a life cycle, to call upon God and the angels to comfort and guide you because this new chapter is leading to new happiness. And I want to say that this new chapter, for those of you that picked card number 1, is going to be much more I want to say for those of you that picked card reading number 1, that I feel like you're going to be basing this new chapter on how you feel and on your emotions and on your emotional connection versus a material connection. I say this because I'm going straight to partnerships, because in the final position number 4, I have Vanessa, the angel of faith, and I have the partnership card. So I feel like this is very much about faith in relationships, and that the closing of this chapter may not just be the ending of a physical relationship. It could be the ending of an emotional dynamic where you've told yourself a certain story that just doesn't serve your long-term happiness. Because when I look in the opportunity or the obstacle, I have Rochelle. Rochelle talks about following your heart. As I honor and follow the guidance of my heart, prosperity is coming to me. And then I have the Swan, which represents transformational in my intuitive gifts within my intuitive body, and trusting those gifts. And that's an inner knowing. And in the angel's advice, I have Archangel Uriel and the Queen. I want to say it this way: for those that have not been in a relationship, you may be frustrated, or you may have found yourself in relationships where you have been frustrated because you've not been treated the way that you believe you deserve to be treated. The Queen is not an energy that exclusively represents the feminine. It represents a receptive energy. So for those of you that picked card reading number 1, I want to say that you're going through a metamorphosis. The year 2020 is offering you the closing of a chapter where your emotional body is not being fulfilled. And that as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, transformation is coming, which is going to allow you to reconcile any anger, unforgiveness, or resentment that you've harbored for not being treated the way that you want to be treated. And part of this journey is going to require faith in the unknown, that partnership is being offered to you. And I want to put it this way: the first partnership that's being offered to you is the partnership of self, where you identify and then have compassion for your feelings. And I say that in such a way where you're no longer judging yourself for the way you feel. You're not villainizing yourself for certain behaviors that may not have served you and that are now outdated and that you must reconcile in order to move forward into a more healthy dynamic, something that not just serves your happiness, but for the partner that you bring in or the partner that you're currently with. So that's what I want to say for people who chose card reading number 1. I'm now going to go on to card reading number 2, angel reading number 2. Bear with me, I'm still getting my sea legs doing this. I'm used to doing a live show on Sundays. I'm not used to just talking into the computer, so I'll get my rhythm eventually. But let's go. Card reading number 2, angel reading number 2 for the week of July 27th, 2020. All right. Our first angel, for those that picked card reading number 2, is Rochelle. The second angel is Teresa. The third is Chantal. And the final is Desiree. Just getting a quick shuffle here. All right. Rochelle is being joined by the Water Fairy. Teresa is being joined by the Fear card. Chantal is being joined by the Spider. And Desiree is being joined by the Queen. So for those of you that picked angel reading number 2, it's surprisingly similar to the reading for those that picked number 1. Rochelle says, as I honor and follow the guidance of my heart, prosperity is coming to me. But that prosperity is really about harmonious wealth. It's about feeling good, feeling like I'm thriving, feeling like I'm hitting all cylinders for the things that I want. And it's not that they've even come into fruition as much as it's that I feel like I'm on the highway of my own dynamic, my own thoughts, my own dreams, my own intuitive and emotional needs, because it is coupled with the Water Fairy. And the Water Fairy represents my feelings, my emotions, and my intuitions. Now, I want to say that this is where you're sitting. This is the platform with which this week offers. It's the dynamic with which this week offers. Because in the opportunity and or the obstacle, I have Teresa, which talks about caring for others, about caring for others in some ways more than I care for myself. She says, time out. You're busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but it's time to stop and take care of your own needs. And there's something that in the Fear here that says that false evidence is appearing real. I want to say for those of you that picked card reading number 2, the idea that you must care for others in order to be valued, or that you have certain obligations in what others expect of you to do for them. You may be a mom, you may be a dad, you may have obligations and people in your life that you need to care for. But in order to care for them efficiently, you must also honor your own feelings, what you need for your own heart. And I say this because when I look at this spread initially, I initially thought that it was about intimate love, because we're going to go to the angel's advice and we'll see the angel of romance here. But I really feel like now as I'm looking at this, it's hitting me that this is an opportunity to re-engage within yourself. For those of you that picked angel reading number 2, honoring your own inner tuitions, the things that you need, is super important so that you can truly take care of those around you, and in a way that is not about duty and about driving the minivan from here to there or making sure the refrigerator is stocked. Sometimes following and honoring the guidance of our heart allows others the privilege of following the guidance of their own heart. Because in the angel's advice, I have Chantal, which talks about romance, and then I have the Spider, which talks about creative projects. It's also a relationship card to me, but I very much feel like this is a relationship with yourself and re-engaging yourself into a dynamic where you can receive the things that are important to you and know that that will then take care of those that are important to you outside of yourself. Because in the final position is Desiree and the Queen. And the Queen is really a receptive energy for me. It's not a male or female energy. While it would be traditionally a female energy, yes, I'm going to go with the idea of it being receptive. And right now, those of you that have picked card reading number 2 cannot see how you can be in your own life, the queen in your own life, receptive, holding that self, taking care of self, because it feels like there's so much going on outside of you. So let me take this just a little bit further, because there are astrological dynamics right now. There's squares between Mars and Pluto. And this coming week, Mars and Pluto are in many ways a similar energy, the same energy, Pluto representing a higher octave. And the deepest part of what I want to go to with these planets is they are truth seekers. They are willing to get into the muck and the dirt and the murk in order to get to the truth. And this is about, those of you that picked card reading number 2 is about getting to the truth of your heart. And sometimes that happens as a result of tensions. So I feel like you may be feeling slightly overwhelmed by taking care of others. You feel as if if I don't take care of them, the balls are going to drop. And that this is really a time to reevaluate that, because you may inadvertently be doing things for others, but your being energy is cranky or out of sorts. And so therefore, maybe those around you would prefer you did take care of yourself a little bit more, so that you were in a better disposition when you were performing those actions of duty. So that's the way I want to put it for those that pulled card reading number 2. Now I'm going to go on to angel reading number 3. Okay, I'm going to give a quick shuffle. And while I'm shuffling, I'm going to give you a quick plug. Please like and subscribe and share. That's always fun. I like that. I have been kind of neglecting my channel, so I've made goals here to show up every Monday and give you guys an angel reading for you to pick, so it'll be more personal to you. So those of you that are going to pick angel reading number 3, here we go. Our first angel is Oceana. The second is Aurora. The third is Francesca. And the final is Rochelle. You may not listen to all 3 readings, but Rochelle has come out in all 3 readings, which is significant. This is a transformational time where those of us that have been walking a path that is not authentic to what makes us happy in our truth, that path is going to get rocky, and there's going to be blind spots, and there's going to be turbulence, because we're meant to shift onto a path that is more congruent to what we want to experience. So here, Oceana is being joined by the goblin. Aurora is being joined by the bee. Francesca is being joined by the hawk. And Rochelle is being joined by the mystery. For those of you that picked card reading, angel reading number 3, Oceana talks about taking action and to lovingly assert yourself towards what you know is your truth and what is deep within your gut. And then there's the ego. And I think that there's a very high potential that your ego may be saying, who do you think you are to choose yourself? Who do you think you are to choose your happiness? There's too much going on in the world. Think of the bigger picture. But I want to say that I don't believe the angels are supporting of that, because Aurora is saying you're flying high right now, don't descend, that you will soon, I mean, you may threaten others, but you will soon inspire them with your actions, your being actions. Because this Aurora to me is about breaking the box of thought. And anybody who has ever been an entrepreneur or endeavored something outside of what others thought you could manifest and been the least bit successful knows what I'm talking about. It is a being energy, is what do I believe as I endeavor, take my actions, and that's how I manifest. Because the ego will always say to us, are you sure? Are you sure? It's grandly designed to do that, because the true empowerment and the true achievement and the true exhilaration of that achievement comes from overcoming the ego and trusting the inner knowing. So here, the ego is asking, are you sure? Are you sure? And now is a time to lovingly assert yourself, to swim through the ocean of uncertainty into the light, to your destiny, which is what the whale represents. Because Aurora offers victory as you step outside the box. And at this time, the angels say, what do you visualize right now? Francesco's saying, visualize what you want, the outcome. How is it going to play out? It's going to feel amazing. Focus in on that. And then do your best to rise above to see the bigger picture, because there will be signs and omens that what you're endeavoring is viable, and this is the perfect fertile time to actually give birth to that, because as we recalibrate this earthly plane and the way we've been operating within it. So in the final position for those that picked angel reading number 3 is Rochelle. As I honor and follow the guidance of my heart. And there's the mystery card. This is a choice. This week is really about choice. Will you trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself, or will you allow your ego to tell you that you can't? Will you trust and honor the guidance of your heart? Because the mystery is asking you to make that choice. We are here. There is no destiny that is preordained. This plane, this earth experience is here for some things, but not sometimes what we think they are. They're about choice. What will we choose? Choosing a certain path creates a certain dynamic, which then creates karma. And in the benevolence of this universe, we are given opportunities repeatedly to make different choices. So for those of you that picked card reading, angel reading number 3 this week, and as we sit with these astrological dynamics between Mars and Pluto squaring each other, asking us to be courageous and brave, and in many ways fearless in the sight of the unknown as we walk towards our deeper truth, that will be honored by spirit. That will be nurtured and fostered. So anyway, that's it for this week. I want to thank you all. Again, I hope you're enjoying these interactive angel readings. You as the viewer will pick which spread is most applicable to you. And if you like and subscribe and share, that would be so awesome. If you want to comment and let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to have me do a spread on, feel free. And then if you'd like to book a reading with me, my information will be below. So have a great day. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.